swear that's all behind me. Grown too strong, I don't go down easy. Living for grace, the best I can. I'm a Jesus girl. All the way. You changed my heart. Ooh, fall forward, up and over. If I go, it's only higher. No matter where I stand, it's always on the Lord's side. 'Cause I've been reading Jesus girl. Hey.
What's up, y'all? It's Wednesday, so you know what time it is. It's time for what? It's time for the Wednesday's Word for Women show, the remix. Yes, I am so excited. I hope your day has been flipping along fantabulously. I hope your week thus far has been rocking this entire planet. But also, I want to remind you that regardless of whatever and whoever, we don't have to let nobody kill our vibe, steal our joy on no day of the week. Our reactions, responses, and attitudes is all our responsibility. And so that means if we want to show up and have a good day, that's what we will do. Circumstances don't get to dictate to us or people what kind of day we're going to have. We get to do that. The power truly is in us, and we are people of gratitude. And so that always shifts our mood as we reflect and flip through the Rolodexes of our mind to find those things to be grateful and thankful for. Even in the toughest situation that we have to be in, we can still find some joy because we know that if good has happened before, it's sure enough gonna happen again. So I want to talk a little bit about battling betrayal. I have had conversations with some people this week and recently on betrayal. People are battling betrayal. It's not just we in a whole pandemic. It's not just life is forever change organically because of what's going on, but also people are changing, and we're being given the ripe atmospheres to see who people really are. Like things are lining up, and so you're finding out things about people and about places and things that you never knew, and you are only knowing now because we are ripe. Environments is ripe for the exposing of people, how they truly feel and who they really are. I always tell people all the time, don't trip. A person can only fake and show up as their representative for only so long, and the real deal is eventually going to show up. That's why you can't make snap decisions and snap judgments, because you need time to let that thing reveal itself and see the real deal. But anyway, because of all of that stresses and because we having to give up this, you're finding out that you really want that. And I mean, it's just all kinds of things. We're stressed to the max. That is not an excuse for betrayal. I'm just saying this is the environment in the atmosphere that is brewing, that is making it conducive to betrayals that you never ever thought that you would ever experience to jump off. And so I want to talk a little bit about battling betrayal, because I don't think there's anything more emotion deriving than a betrayal for someone that you like. Betrayal is an act. It is a deliberate disloyalty. Like, this is not some accident or helping an enemy. This is not so, oh my gosh, I tripped into this or it just happened. No, this is a deliberate disloyalty to you, to your personhood, or to what you got going on. It's deliberate, which makes the betrayal so hard. It's a violation, y'all, of our love and our trust. It's the emotional bond that we've created with whatever him, her, or the thing is violated. It's violated. And so it's no small thing. betrayal is no small thing. It is, I believe, one of the ways that destroys the psyche more than anything else. I'm not saying it's the worst thing, but I believe it's the thing that does the biggest number on our psyche, on our souls, on our hearts, because it's a violation of that emotional bond. It fractures it. You know, it makes you question everything. You know, it changes even neurons and everything in your mind. Like betrayal betrayal sucks. That's just all I can say. It truly is a crushing thing. And so I'm not making light of it. And I want to talk about it because I also know this is the thing that happens that puts us on a trajectory, that puts us on a track to then be forever emotionally stunted, and we are not able to function fully in the fullness of ourselves. We're not able to give fully of ourselves because we are guarded. Because a betrayal, you can understand it from an enemy, but you can't understand it from your homeboy, your homegirl, your husband, your wife, your boo, your clique, your squad, your tribe. It does not reconcile in your mind. We just can't reconcile it. And I think that's the toughest part. You know, you just can't understand. So some of the ways betrayals are revealed to us, there's two different ways. We have sudden revelation of a betrayal. So this sudden revelation is, you may have, you know, even guess something's going on. You know how you got that your inner self is saying, man, something ain't right. Your intuition is just like, I don't know what it is, but I know it's something. You know, this sudden revelation, though you may have had an inkling that something was amiss, it doesn't mitigate, though, the shock, the hurt when you find out definitely what it is. That's the sudden revelation of betrayal. That's the knock you off your feet. That's the where that's where furniture get to moving in some cases. That's where, crimes of passion, that's where they got that from, because it can suddenly hit, and it's such a shock to your psyche, to your emotions. Ain't no telling how you'll react. Like, you can go crazy. People lose their minds in those moments. That's sudden revelation. And then you also can have gradual realization. Now, gradual realization of a betrayal is the delayed recognition of the betrayal. It's delayed recognition. It's you've overlooked the signs. We got the little red flag thing going on now. You've overlooked, or at least minimized, the red flags. You have given the benefit of the doubt so many times. You are blinding yourself to the truth of the matter. So that's gradual realization. So you have sudden revelation, which is the bomb, which is the explosiveness, and then you have the gradual realization where it's just delayed recognition on your part. People around you even may know it, but for you are choosing not to recognize this betrayal. You're overlooking all the signs that point to, yeah, this is what it is. And so we have those type of things that are going on in our life, and you can see how if we're going to deal with these things and not become bitter Bettys or terrible Toms, if we're going to not be stunted emotionally, if we're going to grow in our emotional intelligence, if we're going to heal and deal, and if we want to build up trust again, if we want to take the limits off and and get out of the prisons that we've placed ourselves in, trying to, under the guise of protecting ourselves, to never be betrayed again. If we want to get past that, the first thing you are going to have to do, as always, you must acknowledge. You must acknowledge. I know you think I say that in everything, because you're correct. Always, because you cannot change what you don't confront. You cannot change what you don't confront, and you cannot heal what you don't acknowledge hurt you. And so you have to, that's always the first step in anything. You have to acknowledge that this thing is a thing. And so as you acknowledge that, then that's when you get to work through your stuff. Then that's when you get to see what it is that you need to do. And I am a firm believer in talking to someone, in preferably but not exclusively a therapist, or wise counsel, and you have to make sure this person, if you don't want to go the therapy route, you have to make sure this person is a wise person, has lived a little, knows some things, a person that is shown to be one not to pass judgment, but will listen. This person has to be a person that is not, in this moment, is not trying to be your fixer, because you don't need a fixer. But you need a person that can help you come to terms with what has happened. You need the person that will support you as you do the work. That's why I always encourage therapy, because first of all, they're non-biased. Sometimes we are turning to people that love us, that are going to try to shield us, that are going to just try to make things better. And we don't need no one in this instance to make us better. We need someone to stand with us so that we can make ourselves are better and deal with what the ramifications that this betrayal has cost us. And we need somebody who can give insight. That's why I always recommend therapy, because they are trained to give insight, though they're not exclusive to people who can do that. You have your faith leaders, you have your people that you can go to, your girlfriend or your guy friends that are therapists, but they're your friends. If you don't want to do the therapy right, you can go to those type of peoples. And you have your girlfriends and guy friends, but there's only so far that can go, because their bias towards you is always going to interject, and they are always going to want to step in and help you because they love you. And in these things, that's not what we need. We need people to love up on us as we deal with the betrayal, because betrayal always makes you feel that something was wrong with you. You did something wrong. And if you have someone who is a narcissist, or if you have someone who is just a butthole, they'll try to make it appear that they did this because of something you did. Boo-boo. Understand, betrayal is never from anything that you have done to someone. Betrayal is, remember, a deliberate act of disloyalty. Nobody can give you loyalty for someone. Nobody can take that except for that person. It has nothing. I don't care how shady some people have acted to me. There are some things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to become disloyal because you have. That's a self-directed thing. So we have to understand we have no blame in someone betraying us. That's all them. And so that's why you got to make sure you have some people who can give insight and who are not biased. Some of us have to even go as far, if depending on the magnitude and what the particular betrayal is. Some of us, you got to reach out of town, out of state, you gotta, there's so many things online now, some viable, real therapists that are not even in your environment. So their perception will not even be tied to the culture. So sometimes that's what you have to do. But understand, you have to have to do the work, and it is always good and depending to have someone to support you. And even if you're the person like, I don't want nobody in my business, I'm not going to deal with it like that. At least journal. It's good to write things down so that you can see. It's something about your thoughts and what's going on in your head. When you put it down into paper, you can make sense of a thing. And so sometimes if that's your jam, do that way, but it's still discuss with someone what you have learned. What are your mind saying? What are your feelings? All feelings are valid, y'all. They're not all healthy, but all feelings are valid, and they need to be acknowledged. And so make sure you take care, heal, and deal in that way. Betrayal sucks. I can think of I'm thinking of someone who had the ultimate betrayal. This betrayal, he served them. He washed their feet. He fed them. He kissed them. He loved them. He did not withhold himself, knowing that he was being betrayed and sold over to be killed. I always think of my Savior like that. And so don't get it twisted. It happens to all of us, but it does not have to end. It doesn't have to end in you being the one that suffers, you being the one not being able to love and feel right, not being able to trust. That's a lonely, lonely life, to be suspicious and threatened by everything. Yeah, we ain't no fool. We ain't nobody got time to be worried about if I could trust you, running behind you, checking this, checking that. No. We ain't got time for all that. But what we can do is heal us, and that will clear us and free us to love again, to be friends again, to do the thing again, to put ourselves out there again, because that's what it's all about. I will never, ever forget Martin Lawrence. He had the best quote I've ever heard. He said, you ride this life till the wheels fall off, because you ain't gonna get to do it again. Be blessed, y'all. Now it's time for Ask Pastor Pay. And also I want to quickly remind you that Queening hashtag I Am Esther Bible Study will kick off this Monday at 6. You can catch us on Facebook Live or YouTube Live or 1100 Washington in-house. Come join us. This is going to be epic. I promise you. If you come expecting, child, you gon' get. And I cannot wait to share in what you get from this. So, y'all, be blessed. Love you. Praying for you, your biggest fan. These Queening hashtag I Am Esther kicks off this Monday, November 1st. What's up with submitting, and why is it so darn hard? Good text question. What's up with submitting, and why is it so hard? What's up with submitting, and why is it so hard? Well, the Greek word for submit is hupotasso, and that means to subject, to place under. So first of all, let's be clear of what submitting is. Let's be clear. It is to place yourself. Hupa is under. Tasso is to arrange. So you submit, you place yourself under the arrangement of another or something. Submission is largely talked about in like relationship and in people in power, like how do we submit to authorities and all that. And so it's really not it's not that kind of beef that it has got turned into. It really is not. It is what you are placing yourself under the arrangement, under the care of ultimately someone. And so there does not have to be a beef, because first of all, you need to be sure that the thing you're involved in, what you're questioning the submission about, is this actually where you were supposed to be submitted to? A lot of people are submitted to things you ain't even supposed to be submitted to. A lot of people we are submitted to ain't bit more supposed to be submitted to them than a man on the moon. And don't let nobody lie to you and beat you up over the head and say that this is just, it's supposed to be, you are submitted to this and that, because the Bible say, no. Make sure you got the whole counsel of the Bible before you get to touting that. Submission, though, is placing yourself under the arrangement of someone else. And so before you hook up with or marry that guy, that girl, you need to understand, is this a person that I can place myself under the arrangement of? That's a key. That's a clue in our relationships, or this thing I'm involved with. Is this something that I should be freely placing myself under the arrangement of? And that will make you look at who or what the person is. How do they rock? How do they live? How's their character? How's their integrity? You need to get all of that. It's just not blindly. The only blind thing we submit to is God himself. And that is our guise, is our gauge of what and who and how submission should look. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It actually places you under the care of something. And it's the strongest thing you can do, because you are placing yourself under the arrangement. Nobody is forcing you. The most powerful thing, it is self-control. It's not giving up your control. You are freely giving it. So make sure that what you are trying to give it to is worthy of that before you submit to anything. Pray about it, child. Think about it. Ask about it. Get wise counsel, because it has got a bad rap. It can be abused by those in authority. It can be blindly misunderstood. It can be taken out of context, but it is a beautiful thing. There is nothing more than a man and a woman submitting one to another, or you submitting to, a cause, something that you're supposed to be involved in. That just means that you are placing yourself there. That's a good thing. That's how we relate. That's how we make connections. That's how we truly pass the superficial. That's how you see the power of relationships. So I hope that answered that question. You guys be blessed.